this popped up and we have to talk about it. Had to talk about it. Oh God, I hate this woman. Anyway, let's take a look. So we're on the topic of social proof, social construction. So let's have a look at Exhibit A of the enemy using these techniques to manipulate the public.
And what I say is that we're all actually completely on the same page when it comes to driving vaccinations and making sure that we're doing everything that we can to reach people that we need to. This is an issue of. This is an issue.
Not working in Israel.
Sir, I'm going to ask. I'm going to answer the questions of the accredited media.
Also in the UK.
Sir, I will shut down the press conference if you do not cease. Sorry, to our accredited members of the gallery here, we might move to an inside venue. Unfortunately, we've got someone who's disrupting your press conference today, so we might reconvene. Thank you. Can we use the facility here? Do you know whether or not it's open? Re-record, we can do that inside as well.
Alright, so this is Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand. And the phrase I was looking for the other day, an iron fist and a velvet glove. This is the form of authoritarianism we live under now. An iron fist and a velvet glove. So the description is a person who has a gentle, sweet or unassuming appearance or disposition, but who in reality is particularly severe, forceful and uncompromising. And once again, it is a description of feminine, indirect aggression and conflict. And this is a great example of this. So let's have a look at the first little clip here, the first part of what she says.
And what I say is that we're all actually completely on the same page when it comes to driving vaccinations and making sure that we're doing everything that...
Okay, so right out of the gate, social construction, social proof. We are all, everybody is on the same page except you. The whole herd is against you. You are on your own. You are being ostracized, and that is meant to trigger in you the fear of being ostracized. And it is for a lot of people, unless you're extremely disagreeable and systematic, it is a very, very powerful emotion. Everybody is against you. You're going to be left behind, and your survival is not assured. So straight out of the gate. And you also look at the way she's speaking too. You turn her sound down. The way she's speaking as well is this smile. Yes, I'm happy. I'm on the winning team. You can be here if you want to be as well, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm doing just fine. Everything's great for me. Yes. Oh, it's wonderful. Yes. She could be talking about a brand new hair product for all we know. I mean, she's squinting because she's looking at the sun, but whenever possible, she gets that shit-eating grin in. Yes, it's fantastic. We're all on the same page and we're all feeling great about it. We are, feeling happy is a social signal of being a winner. And that's why too, you can spiral into being a loser if you don't stop yourself, because if something negative happens to you and you let it get to you and you start signaling that you're unhappy, to cognitively feminine people, you are signaling that you are a loser, and then they start treating you like a loser, and so your losses can compound on themselves. So don't let that happen. But conversely, this here, where's his face? Yes. Thoughtful but happy. Yes. We're all on the same page and it's wonderful. Yes, it's going so splendidly. And you are ostracized and fuck you. So that's a manipulation technique. Look, it might technically be true if they're talking about everyone in the government, but look, that's not even true. Not everyone in the government. In my state, we've just had 4,000 healthcare workers leave the job because they don't want to take the current medication. So it's actually not true, but it's a lie. And once again, for the feminine brain, whose reality is more heavily socially constructed, social proof is an important tool, and that's what's going on. She's implying a social proof there to trigger the feelings of ostracism in those who disagree. She's manipulating instead of reciprocating or cooperating. And you have to understand that is a method of warfare. That is aggression. If you're manipulating someone instead of honestly negotiating with them, you are trying to construct an irreciprocity with them. You are trying to get one over on them. It is a method of aggression. And so it really, watching the sanctimonious shit-eating grin on this woman as she manipulates really should have the hairs standing up on the back of your neck when you think about that she's heading the structure of a government over people. And I spoke about this on Twitter too, and I did speak about it with Noah Ravoy too. Once again, we are under a new religion, and a religion that is okay. Religion in the past was based on feminine intuitions as well, and so it's a new religion in terms of an evolution of the existing religion, or it's or you could call it a new religion in its own right. Either way, we are under a religion, and the religion is this PC woke false promise of freedom from the natural laws of scarcity and the need to evolve and evolutionary computation, all that stuff. And it's an evolution of the old religion, plus it's a new spin, plus it's a new religion. So however you want to categorize it, but we are under this new religion based on feminine intuitions. Feminine moral intuitions currently are dominant. And the problem with that is, as I said to Noah, when women disagree, they don't see you as having a equal, reciprocal, sovereign difference of incentives, strategy, or opinion, which needs to be negotiated with. They see you as a naughty child that needs to be disciplined. This is one of the crazy things, How can you negotiate with people who don't even understand your perspective? It's scary. And the fact that these people have power is a travesty. But anyway, so once again, that's what she's doing. She's manipulating. She's enacting social warfare against people who don't agree with her. Let's have a look at the rest of the clip though. Yeah. Everyone's on your side, Jacinta.
Completely on the same page when it comes to driving vaccinations and making sure that we're doing everything that we can to reach people that we need to. This is an issue. Sir, I'm going to ask.
So, someone came in and was saying, well, you want to drive these vaccinations, but what about the data from Israel? So he's objecting, it is the logical objection. Okay, the studies are out, it doesn't stop transmission, doesn't stop all these things, so why are you still banging on this policy? But the reason is there's other things going on, and plus they don't care about logic.
Sir?
And see that look there?
This is an issue.
Oh no. Oh, my darling child is acting up. My darling child is acting up. I'm going to force you to comply, but I do it because I love you, because you're a naughty child. That's what that look is.
This is an issue. Sir, I'm going to ask.
All right. See? Kids, settle down. See, once you see this, a lot of these women in authority, they just look like they're talking to a room full of school children. And I think because that's what they think they are.
I'm going to answer the questions of the Accredited Media.
All right, here we go. The Accredited Media. God, I hate the New Zealand accent. The Accredited Media. Anyway, or maybe her face is ruining it for me. But the Accredited Media, the media with the social proof, the media that everybody says is the right one.
Sir, I will shut down the press conference if you do not cease. Sorry, to our accredited members of the gallery here, we might move...
Accredited Media. This phrase, the Accredited Media. So this is like the midwit thing. Well, I've got a degree in science. I'm 110 IQ and I went and did a paint by numbers degree. I've never had an original thought in my life, but because I went and painted the diagrams by the numbers that were laid out for me in my science degree, and I go to a lab and I do studies that are step by step laid out for me, and then I drone like fill out the forms and input the data, and then it all goes off to be analyzed by other people. I have a science degree and so I'm a scientist, and so when I regurgitate what the power structure says, my opinion has more weight than yours. That's what we keep saying. For these people, their reality is heavily socially constructed, which means they don't know what is true. They only know what other people say, and that's what they're going to accept is true. I doubt Jacinta Ardern has the IQ points herself to really know what is true. I have no doubt that she is a true believer, midwit, and that she's placed in a position of power because people know that she's going to do exactly what they want her to do. But I think that she probably herself genuinely believes that she is bringing about the utopia. She's disciplining all the naughty kids. She's going to bring about the socialist nanny state, big mummy government utopia. So once again, this is an iron fist and a velvet glove. A person who has a gentle, sweet, or unassuming appearance or disposition, but who in reality is particularly severe, forceful, and uncompromising. The feminine authoritarianism of the disciplining mother. And this whole clip where she says, the accredited media, the only people who have a right to ask me a question are the people that the government say is accredited. The only people who are allowed to think are the government accredited scientists. The only people who are allowed to X are the people who me and my team of government people have decided on. Look, if you're more systematic brained, you will say, I don't care what master's degree or PhD you have, 2 + 2 = 4, not 5. But for someone who's socially constructed, they are system blind. Someone whose reality is more socially constructed, they're system blind, and so they say, yeah, but everybody is saying that 2 + 2 = 5, so I'm going to say that 2 + 2 = 5. They might not even believe that themselves, but the fact is they don't care what the truth is. People, this is what human beings will do. They'll get up on stage and they say, oh, you're paying me millions of dollars? Cool, 2 + 2 = 5, everybody. And then some guy in the audience will be like, no, it doesn't. I don't care how many PhDs you've got. I don't care if I'm accredited media or scientist or whatever. It's 4. Because and they go, well, it's probably some combination of, obviously 2 + 2 = 4. That's a very simple system. It's very simple, and it's harder to analyze more complex systems than that. But the point being, some combination of they are system blind, so they have less ability to analyze a system or a logic, and they also don't care because at the end of the day, all they want is to be taken care of. And most men who don't care, they just want to make money and express their dominance expressions. And most women, they want to gather resources and give it to their children and enact their values. A lot of people are just bots, and they will follow their intuitions off a cliff. So I really think that seeing this woman in power should raise the hairs on the back of your neck, because just saying that there so blatantly, the accredited media, it's like she's really playing, she's showing her hand on how she thinks. You know, your opinion's not accredited, and it's going to cause conflict. It's going to cause conflict because at the end of the day, the country is not a school, it's not a classroom full of naughty kids. The countries that these people are leading are sovereign human beings, and it's going to cause conflict. You can't treat other men like naughty kids who need to be disciplined by mummy and expect that to stand long term. It's going to cause conflict. It's irreciprocal. So once again, you know, we talk about reciprocity is the stable relation that enables cooperation in society. You're breaking reciprocity, you're breaking the stable relation of society. Stable relations. Anyway, you're breaking the stability of society. So yeah, but once again, don't be manipulated. She's signaling she's creating social proof. She's creating social proof, and then she's saying, you're on the outer. Nobody listen to this guy because he's not accredited. He doesn't have the approval of the herd. She's using manipulation, and it is a form of aggression. So don't fall for it.